What's up, party people? Here's Backlash. Here's the black screen so we can read. All right, we stopped last night at preface page. I believe we stopped at the last paragraph at the top of preface page. This will be 9. We're gonna get right into it. I had nothing to talk about this morning in terms of humanizing myself. I feel really good today. Woke up, looked at the views. One view, it's okay. It's like, I understand that. It's like in my head, I'm saying to myself, I guess this is humanizing myself, a little insecurity. It's like, in my head, I'm like, they only got one view because I put myself as the cover. I'm ugly. But probably just because the video was 33 minutes long. And I listened back to it. It's kind of cringe because I'm interjecting so much. But man, people gotta understand. I am passionate about everything I get into, and I'm really liking this book. And to show you how much I fucking like it, I woke up thinking about it. That never happens. We got like 5 more pages. Let's see if we can get through it, finish the preface today, we get into the actual meat of the book. All right, drinking my coffee here. Hopefully, I'm not too wired and making too many interjections, but I will be having thoughts. Okay. Certainly not a bad thing in the corridors of a commercial America. Advertising agency, and let me just say one thing. Like, this is like, even like with the one view or whatever, I don't give a shit. Like, this is a thing that's like self-sustaining. It is motivating me to keep doing it, just like my madres, my female baseball players. It's like, if I woke up to no views on that every day, I would still do it. Because, man, it is rare I can get into a book like this. I love reading. Don't get me wrong. Bookshelf is full of books. I read them all, but man, it is hard to get into a book. It's hard to sit down and find time and the attention span to actually read this stuff. All right, here we go. It's a great book, though, and I recommend it. I'll leave the link in every description of every time I upload one of these. Hopefully, this was shorter than the last one. Damn, my thing is recording upside down. Hope it doesn't show my book upside down, because I'm not going to the editor again. It doesn't even matter. It's like this is one frame of actual video. You want to see the book? You want to see me read? We'll do one page through your camera lens. Certainly not a bad thing in the corridors of commercial America. Advertising agencies and the retailers they represent were only too glad to market their brands by exploiting the new feminist preoccupation with self-empowerment and self-presentation. Okay, that's what I want to hear about. This the industries that drove the backlash in the 90s. Feminism was diverted down a sidetrack, debating the trivial and ludicrous. Yeah, that's how you destroy a movement. Have to talk about dumb shit. Like, you destroy the Black Lives Matter movement. Have to talk about defund the police and stupid shit like that. Questions of the age included, is it feminist to show your thong? Like, there we go. These dumbass questions. Are Dove soap bars empowering? Can we answer those? If feminists show your thong, I would say no. That's not inherently feminist. Are Dove bars empowering? I would say no. That's a product. Was Karl Lagerfeld's feminist rally at Chanel the ultimate activist statement? No. The ultimate activist statement is probably going to a protest. Can you be a feminist and love beauty? Of course. The title of the forum in honor of International Women's Day, when is that? I celebrated it last year. So I put up a video about the black woman that invented GPS, or helped invent GPS with their satellites. One of the most marquee manifestations of individualistic feminism in the build-up to the Trump era was a campaign by prominent female executives, entrepreneurs, and policy pundits to bring feminism to the C-suite. I think it's like the executives, like the CEOs and shit. That effort was concentrated on the individual need of women in high-powered careers seeking to climb the corporate ladder without sacrificing family-work balance. Its promulgators called on their well-heeled sisters to embrace a national happiness project, as policy analyst and commentator Anne Marie Slaughter put it in a much-touted Atlantic cover story, not by demanding social and political change, but by openly talking to the office about your children and expressing your desire for a balanced life. Media powerhouse Ariana Huffington, the Huffington Post, called on the professional women to enhance their well-being by purchasing stress-reducing apps like GPS for the soul. Marketed by the Huffington Post, ironically. Ironic, not ironic at all. and demanding a yoga studio or nap room in her company's office. Like, that's got feminism. That's the stupid shit. That's the corporate feminism. I want real structural change. Crazy, I know. Huffington dubbed this initiative, which she first announced in Forbes magazine, the second women's revolution. Like, really? I bet she is. That is so pretentious. The revolution propagated itself through media appearances and the corporate-funded conferences with names like Women Rule, in which a small number of ruling women delivered speeches to one another about leadership and empowerment in quotes. And through a slew of You Go Girl guides to smiling and finagling your way into senior management, most famously the 2013 blockbuster by Facebook COO Sheryl Sandberg, Lean In, Women Work Hard and with Will to Lead. Each as a version of the same question: how can an aspiring professional woman root out the internal obstacles holding her back so she can break into the boardroom all by herself? What can we do as individuals, as Sandberg put it to her readers, to get to the corner office? Individual choices. Once the rallying cry of the reproductive rights rallies and feminist street protests had too easily morphed into professional class self-absorption. Sandberg pitched Lean In as a movement, but that movement seemed to offer little more than the opportunity to enhance one's personal brand. I can't believe the CEO was interested in enhancing her personal brand and wasn't looking out for all the other women. She blew the ladder up after she got to the top. I can't believe it. And she tried to divert women with this corporate fucking product bullshit. I can't believe that never happens. Gatekeeping, that never happens. Along with Lean In's brand, of course, by liking the organization's Facebook page, prominent businesswoman, and embarrassingly, a number of prominent feminists posted glossy, retouched photos on the accompanying website next to squibs recounting their Lean In moments. Sounds so goofy, bro. Like, this shit is like this. I believe there truly are powers that be, and they send out their little gatekeepers like this to derail a movement. It's so easy because people are so susceptible to the power of suggestion. You just put one powerful person in with a shiny face, everybody just goes along with it because there's no leaders and people don't know how to think for themselves. Sandberg kicked off her book tour for Lean In on the East Coast with closed-door appearances at Goldman Sachs, Morgan Stanley, JP Morgan, followed by rounds of private, high-priced events sponsored by consulting firms, Ivy League business schools, and Silicon Valley tech firms. In 2014, Sandberg came to Harvard University to give the Class Day speech. Housekeepers and waitresses at the nearby Hilton Doubletree Hotel, who were struggling to unionize, asked her to support them with a Lean In event. Sandberg's public office quickly declined, citing a busy schedule. See, that's what I'm talking about. Like, in my opinion, feminism begins at the working class level, as any movement does. And that shows she ain't no feminist. You already knew that, though. She's just a corporate fucking gatekeeper puppet. I have problems with people like that. And I glazed Hillary Clinton a little bit last night, because I think she still would have been way better than Trump. And but she's that kind of feminist too, like just the boardroom C-suite feminist, the corporate puppet, and like that's just what they are. But still better than the Republicans' corporate puppet. Everything is relative. The problem with individualistic, choice-based feminism is I'm trying to get away from individualism. I'm very, very ego-driven, but man, we can't build movements with ego. So I'm trying to like drop that. I don't know how. I'm trying. Without psychedelics. I don't know how to kill my damn ego. I'm trying here. The problem with individualistic choice-based feminism is that it's largely of use to, and like, it's like dropping the patriarchy and its influence in my life. It's hard because we're inundated and we're swimming in this shit. Individualism is America. And it's like, it's hard to unlearn everything I've been taught. The problem with individualistic choice-based feminism is that it's largely of use to women who already have choices. What do champions of self-empowerment and self-care, or the advocates of VIP self-advancement have to offer the women making beds at Doubletree or taking orders at Dunkin' Donuts? Nothing. Can't relate. What use could truly disadvantaged women make of executive-style second women's revolution, which was not a revolution at all? The effervescence, I love that word. It's not even effervescence. The efflorescence of commercial and celebrity and corporate feminism coincided with the aftermath of the 2008 financial crash, a time of rapid and unprecedented economic polarization. The poverty rate for women was at a 21-year high. I did not know that. And rate of extreme poverty among women was at its highest point ever recorded. I did not know that. And that probably affected the kids too. Despite all the rhetoric, like America has a disturbingly high percentage of children living in poverty. The poverty rate for women was a 21-year high, and the rate of extreme poverty among women was at its highest ever recorded. Despite all the rhetoric about the recession being a man session, who said that? It was women who were truly devastated by the downturn. I mean, I was like a little child when this shit was going. I don't remember any talk about the recession. I just remember everything just got bad. That's all we said. People lost their houses. Men were initially laid off in larger numbers than women because the crash first hit construction and high finance. But once the economy began to revive in 2009, men claimed the vast majority of the new jobs created. Shocking. I wouldn't be surprised if the recession was on purpose to hurt women. As economist Heather Boucher concluded, the people that hurt the most were women and black people. So, that tells me that's the main enemies of this country. As economist Heather Boucher concluded in 2012, after crunching the numbers, the recovery is a man-covery. Man, I love this book, man. The weakened economy of the late aughts and early teens aggravated an already bleak situation for the vast majority of working women. Since the 1990s, women's salaries gain slowed and occupational sex segregation worsened. By 2016, working class occupations were segregated by sex as they had been in 1950. Meanwhile, wage inequality between women with advanced education and women with high school degrees or less ballooned. White working class women once seemed to be in Clinton's corner. From the 2000 U.S. Senate race to the 2008 primaries, Clinton perplexed many white collar pundits with her strong showing among women lacking college degrees. The backbone of her support, going back to her first U.S. Senate race 7 years ago, remains among those who resemble her the least. Boston Globe marveled in 2007. In Newsweek's review of the 2008 book, 30 Ways of Looking at Hillary, Reflections by Women Writers, an anthology, virtually based on the premise that women don't like Clinton, the magazine wondered how then to explain the polling has consistently shown blue-collar women have rallied to Clinton's campaign. I didn't know that either. She had a blue-collar women contingent. It was so strong. I thought it was mostly white women with degrees and, was young people in general. Over the course of the 2016 race, Clinton's support among white working class women fell away. Why? To the rapist? Trump's shares of whites without a college degree was the largest of any candidate in exit polls since 1980. And why would that guy look out for you? The elitist from New York, the businessman billionaire? This whole, what do they call him? A blue-collar billionaire. That was such bullshit. There's no blue-collar billionaire. Not a single billionaire on this planet can relate to us. It's not a thing. Because when you get that much money, your empathy dies. They done studies on this, and nobody is immune to that. Trump's shares of whites without a college degree was the largest of any candidate since 1980. 67% of non-college whites backed Trump, while just 28% supported Clinton, and 39% advantage for Trump. Thanks for the math lesson, Susan. I needed it. Why did white working class women recoil from Clinton? That's what I want to know. Did they resent her ambition in a time when theirs got them nowhere? Jealousy? Yeah, I understand. America's a very resentful place. People doing something you can't do, they're going to hate you. I've experienced it every day. Did they resent her ambition in a time when theirs got nowhere? Could they not forgive the Goldman Sachs girl for accepting Wall Street riches, even as they forgave her equally enriched male contenders? Yeah, why we judge women so harshly? Did they see Hillary as just enough lean in her? Or maybe with no indication that her fears were going to be addressed at women rule summits with $2,000 goodie bags or in a harsh squabbles over who gets laurels in the victim sweepstakes. White working class women turned to Trump as the yearn for deliverer, the rapist. He delivered rape. The country's getting fucked. I will never forgive the women for this shit. I love women, but man, that was a devastatingly stupid decision. White working class women turned to Trump as the yearn for deliverer who might And like, why would he allow your dreams to come true? Like, you're mad at Hillary for going for the ring and making her dreams a reality. But you think Trump, the guy who hates women, talking about grabbing by the pussy, the open rapist, 27 cases of sexual assault alleged against him, proven to have sexually abused E. Jean Carroll. Of course, that hadn't happened in 2016, but you knew he was a rapist and a pussy grabber. And you think that guy is going to set up the conditions for your dreams to come true in America? Why would that be the case? Tell me how the fuck that's supposed to work logically. I pride myself on logic. How in the fuck is a rapist supposed to set up the conditions for women to thrive in a country like this? You can't answer that because the answer is he doesn't. For some reason, a lot of white women just hate other women. Maybe your husband conditioned you to think that way and you've internalized the misogyny. But man, that shit is pathetic. Black women voted the right way. 96 to 98% of black women vote Democrat. Why can't you? The fucking position you put us in this damn country. And if you're hearing my voice right now, probably not talking to you. But a lot of white people need to call out other white people. That's the problem. And even if you consider yourself a good white person, you still don't call out the racism from other white people. You don't call out the sexism. You just let the shit slide. Because I know how white people really are in private. I'm not stupid. You don't call, but you want us to call out our people. But you don't call out shit. Which is why white people are in this fucking state they're in. Pretty dire straits. I feel sorry for a lot of you motherfuckers. I had to let that out. White people have a serious fucking problem in this country. You need to get it together. You put us in this goddamn box. You need to get us out. Black people ain't doing that. We didn't do this. We voted the right way, motherfucker. Latino women voted the right way. It's these fucking men and these pick-me women that are the fucking problem. Now never let that shit go. Because that shit is pathetic. And we didn't do that. Black people, gay people, young women, fucking LGBT, I already said that. Everybody else is not white men and they're pick-me soldiers. We didn't do this. You fucked everybody over. And now we're paying high-ass gas prices, high food price, high everything because of you. Nobody did that but you. Hating-ass white people. And they're pick-me fucking soldiers. Some of us got our head on right. Some of us were raised right in this dumbass country. Anyways, that's my rant. I'm tired of stupid people. A lot of you happen to be white. Or conversely, maybe Trump was championing their version of personal... Oh, I didn't read it all. Sorry. Trump, as he yearned for a deliverer who might reemploy the men in their lives. Oh, yeah, he did that. Now everybody's losing their job. Now the men in their life are going to take it out on you. Stupid. Maybe they felt that their only hope for future security lay not in branded and personal identity feminism, but in the arrival of a father knows best household. Man, fuck off. As somebody who grew up in a father knows best household, nobody needs a return to that. It just stunts everybody's personal fucking growth. Or conversely, maybe Trump was championing their version of personal identity. Yeah, white. And that ain't gonna save you. Because being white don't matter. You gotta be rich, dummy. Certainly race factors in here. Thank you for finally, Susan. Well, she's a Jew. She ain't all the way white. But thank you for finally explaining the race dynamics of this to me, because I truly need to know. We got 3 more pages. Conversely, maybe Trump was championing their version of personal identity. Certainly race factors in here. Tell me about this race bullshit. Because as a black, I don't think about race when I vote. I don't think about race at all. So just when it's thrown in my face. But y'all love obsessed with fucking identity. White people talk about everybody that says identity politics. Y'all love identity politics. You don't shut up about it. I'm proud you are to be white. Nobody cares. The white disaffection nobody cares about you being white. Nobody's impressed by that. And honestly, if you go around talking about white skin and shit or try to disparage, that makes me think 1,000 times less of you. Supremacy? I think not. You're inferior. You gotta go around talking about how great white people are. That makes you sound insecure. I know I'm great. I don't have to go around saying it all the fucking time. And my skin didn't make me great. I made me great. Grow up. The white disaffection couldn't be fully explained by economic issues that it encompassed this video's go back. I gotta stop. Okay, I'll be back with the rest of this. But I went on a rant, man. And we'll read this last paragraph and I'll be back to read the rest calmly. Because, I got too passionate with this shit. I'm tired of white identity politics. Whip. It's so stupid. You ain't got nothing to be proud of. They encompass the petite bourgeoisie as well as the working class, theorized that Trump voters were responding to the loss of their dominant racial and cultural status. See, that's the problem. You're not going to dominate me. You're not going to dominate women. You're not going to dominate anybody. Because we're fighting back now. Because we got the means to. But it might be that they also found themselves lacking an identity beside an age where the old institutional solidarities provided by churches, unions, and civic services organizations were withering away. Aw, your identity gone. So yeah, lash out at everybody else and make our lives a living hell. Because your life is hell. That makes so much sense. How about build yourself up? Pull yourself up by your bootstraps. Like I did. Their profile reduced them to only oppressor, while their lives were oppressed by anxiety, dislocation, and the loss of communal ties. Oh, yeah, I can see that. I am your voice, Trump told them. And accepting that call, your white skin gonna save you. Were his followers turning their lack of identity into membership in a new identity interest group, joining the club? In any case, neither the media nor the Clinton campaign nor the young #feminists made any real effort. And I'm not going to rush this. We're actually going to read all of this. We're going to finish up in this video. I'm not rushing. Because I got thoughts. And I'm a human being, damn it. A very smart human being. I like using my damn brain. I don't care that people can't handle a 30-minute video. That's not my problem. I'm uploading it anyways for my records. Because maybe I want to listen back on this one day. Where I was growing as a person. In any case, neither the media nor the Clinton campaign nor the young #feminists made any real effort to understand or redress their concerns. Even as posters found that the only thing angrier than the angry white man was the angry white woman. In the closing weeks of the campaign, I believe angry white women were angry because their man told them to be angry. It was like, oh, my life sucks. I can't find a job, babe. So you got to experience angry with me or I will abuse you. Is this how these white men talk in private? Like, there's something wrong with them. Like, is it like your wife has to be your avatar too? I just don't understand that mindset. And she's got her own life. But like, you're upset, so they got to be upset and go vote for Trump just because you're doing it? That's pathetic. In any case, neither the media nor the Clinton campaign, blah, blah, blah. In the closing weeks of the campaign, Clinton released an ad in the battleground states featuring fans smiling with an anodyne optimism, cheering her to the perky soundtrack Katy Perry's Roar. See, I don't know the path forward. Now, President Terry O'Neill said, I think that now is National Organization of Women, said as she made her circuit of the media in November 9th, 2016, but we need to find a way together. We need to get serious about solidarity. And we didn't. For a while after the election, it looked like the Me Too movement might build such unity. What happened to the Me Too movement? Didn't sexual harassment and sexual assault affect every woman? Yeah. I mentioned in the first video of this series, reading this book, everyone in my family has a story of sexual harassment, at least sexual harassment. Didn't sexual harassment and sexual assault affect every woman regardless of their color and station in life? And yet the spotlight rarely veered from the stories of celebrity victims. Or, why didn't we talk about like regular women? Like, why did we have like forums about like women, working class women being harassed? But of course, in hindsight, it's 2020, but we should have done more for regular people. Because like everything in the Me Too movement was about some celebrity and Harvey Weinstein. Or celebrity perpetrators. The Me Too shame cudgel works best on men and organizations prominent enough that they can be financially damaged by the loss of reputation. Yep. Hollywood actors and media stars remain at the center of the vortex, with only the occasional nod paid to women, rarely named, who were being regularly preyed upon as waitresses, hotel housekeepers, and still being preyed upon. We don't talk about it. Retail sales clerks or migrant laborers. Heads rolled at the Miramax and Fox News, but not at Mary Mae's or Motel 6. The overwhelming majority of the heroines featured on these dramas were upper class and white, even though working class and minority women endured the highest rates of sexual predation. 1/3 of black and Latino women report having been sexually harassed compared to a quarter of white women. There you go. We don't talk about it. All we want to talk about is white women. And minority women are far more likely to face retribution than when they report their harassers. As criminology expert Callie Marie Renison documented in 2014, National Crime Vindication Survey data showed that women in the lowest income bracket are sexually victimized at 3.7 times the rate of middle income women and 6 times the rate of women in highest income group. Getting serious about solidarity requires the next movement from, I wonder what the fifth wave feminism is going to look like. I guess that'll start in like 2040-ish, 2030. When Gen Z, I guess, is all of age, they'll be the fourth wave feminists, I guess, because or fifth wave. I think fourth wave is like my generation, millennials. Getting serious about solidarity requires maybe they can take what we're doing with fourth wave on the internet and bring it to the real world finally. I don't think the next wave will also be digital. I think it'll be about organizing again. Well, it often amounts to, I feel like crying thinking about it. I think it's gonna be great. The Gen Z women I have a lot of faith in. The men, not so much. Well, it often amounts to individual women championing their own bona fides, or bona fides. As a member of an oppressed group to challenge the bona fides of others, what it requires is actually organizing. Ha! Man, I just said that. It's actually organizing in practical and tangible ways across the divides of race, sex, and yes, class. And I sound like I'm literally crying right now. Because I think about how beautiful the future could be. I'm legit fucking passionate about this shit. And just trying to express, be a human being for you people. Nobody probably get this far into the video. Because my anger might turn people off. But I express all the emotions. Anger, sadness, optimism, happiness. I'm a human being. And once we start to actually organize in real life, we have everything we want in this country. A year after post-election polls showed a majority of white working class women backing Trump, his popularity was notably eroding with the same women. Their support fell from 61% to 49% by the end of 2017. With a particularly stark decline among middle-aged, blue-collar women. We must start building a sisterhood with vast numbers of women who need feminism the most, and men too. Whether they're convinced of it yet or not, a class-conscious women's movement will be well-positioned to address. Here's what these women, and in fact all women, rated as their number one concern in polls in the 2016 election. Sex-based pay inequity. No wonder, because of the gender gap, and Obama tried to address pay inequity, but of course they wouldn't let him. But we made a lot of progress, at least in sports. No wonder, because the gender wage gap is still very much with us. And those seeking working class jobs find that higher paying ones are still vastly male dominated. And women who do break the barrier find themselves making significantly less than their blue collar male counterparts, a gender wage gap much wider than the one found in white collar or service industry positions. Young women who went to high school in blue collar communities at Cornell University study found in 2016 face the biggest gender gaps in employment and wages. Nor is a breadwinning blue collar husband likely to save them. Wake up. Ding ding ding. The marriage rate has fallen dramatically among working class women. Good. Less than 48% of women without college degrees are married, compared to 64% in 1960s, when the two groups of women were equally likely to wed. The result is that many working class women are struggling to support families and on their own. Since 2000, as many households have depended on a single mother at the sole source of income. As source of income, the traditional breadwinners. Even with that, that's a terrible thing. People struggle. I'm glad that they haven't flocked back to fucking hateful, evil, abusive fucking men. Because that ain't gonna make you happy either. We gotta work together, solidarity, organized. Then we can all lift ourselves up. These female, but the division is the problem. I'm not trying to bridge the gap the best way I can. This is the only thing I can do. Is all I know to do. Use my platform, which is tiny, to show that we can be different. Female heads of household don't need feminist pop songs or faux empowering commercials. They need a robust feminist agenda that attends to their real social and economic. So I've said it before, I want to be president of this country. I truly will be one day. I need a fucking feminist agenda. I don't have an agenda for women. I got a family agenda, like I call it the Family Bill of Rights, make it easier to raise children, but there's more to that. You gotta do pay equity too. So I think this book's gonna change my life. In 1834, and I'm gonna tout this book. This is a great fucking book. Man, this is a great fucking writer, and man, I'm glad I bought it. In 1834, America's early industrial wage earners, the mill girls of Lowell, Massachusetts, embarked on their own campaign for women's advancement in the workplace. When their bosses cut their already paltry wages by 20%, the mill girls declared one of the nation's earliest industrial strikes. They called it a turnout. New England mill workers created the first union of working women in American history, led the fight for the 10-hour workday. A 10-hour workday, wow. It took aim both at corporate power and at the patriarchal oppression of women. Try to read too fast. The president of the Lowell Female Labor Reform Association, Sarah Bagley, went on to take up the cause of women's medical care, women's education, women's suffrage. Their fight would find full flower in the American women's movement. I wish I had. Obviously, I need a wife. I wish I had a daughters we could sit around reading this with. Because I would definitely make my daughters read this fucking book. The forces of industrialization that have propelled young women out of the patriarchal home and also united them in the petitions all over my desk. In a new communal endeavor, a sisterhood of workers fighting exploitative conditions. The Lowell Strike, the Lowell Strike began when a mill boss fired one of the female workers, leading the other women to immediately walk out and protest. That's balls. We need more of that. As they wrote in their petition, I was in a mess, burping, crying. As they wrote their petition, resolved that none of us will go back unless they receive us all at once. The sisterhood, that's solidarity, to teach us a lesson. Sisterhood would expand as the century wore on. In Lawrence, Massachusetts, after the collapse of the Pemberton Mill Factory in 1860, which killed 145 workers. What? The vast majority of female, middle-class women in the region flocked to provide emergency relief. Women have empathy? I can't believe that. Radicalized by what they witnessed, they went on to establish services for working-class women. Day nurseries, medical care, cooperative housing. By the end of the Civil War, with economic polarization at record levels, a critical mass of middle-class and working-class reformers came to regard women's economic power and employment equality as key to their elevation. These women saw cross-class struggle on behalf of female workers as a path to achieving it. Organizations launched by middle and upper-class women like Sororous and the Women's Education Industrial Union campaigned specifically for the rights of female wage earners. Like Lean In, the Women's Educational Industrial Union held lectures to promote women in business, but also exposed unsafe work conditions for female factory workers and clerks, and offered legal services when women cheated out of wages. It's beautiful. Decades after the Lowell Mill Strike, the women's movement won a key battle. Starting in the 1880s, the Illinois Women's Alliance, which brought together almost every women's organization in Chicago. Man, used to do work. Man, we had no smartphones, no distractions. We could actually organize. The Unionists, the Socialists, forced a congressional. God, this book makes you feel so alive. I'm actually reading pretty well. Because I'm actually interested in it. My ADHD, it allows me to care about this shit. Forcing congressional investigation into female sweatshop labor and pushed through the state's Factory and Workshop Inspection Act, creating an 8-hour day for women and children, and banning factory labor for children under 14. Now, children used to have to work, man. Shit was, what the fuck? Their efforts were reflected nationwide in the work of diverse organizations of all races, from the settlement home and club movements to women's trade union leagues in Atlanta Neighborhood Union, the last organization by wife of president of Morehouse College, African-American social reformer Eugenia Burns Hope, who deployed faculty wives. And I appreciate Faludi for giving so much what's that fealty? What's the word? So much respect and recognition of black women in this book. American social reformer Eugenia Hope, who deployed faculty wives to fight for education, health care, daycare, and housing for poor black women. All of these groups subscribe to the fundamental principle enshrined in the mission statement of the Illinois Women's Alliance. The actual status of the poorest and most unfortunate women in society determines the possible status of every woman. Damn right. Like, Susan Faludi is a real feminist. She doesn't forget the women of color that really make up this movement. In the 2018 midterm election, the real feminists, they actually vote for women, black women, Latinos. In the 2018 midterm election, a record number of women swept into the U.S. House of Representatives, probably fueled by black women. 102 all told, outstripping the gains even of 1982. All but one of them were Democrats. Their victories were essential to their parties reclaiming the House, accounting for more than 60% of Democratic gains. A record number of newly elected representatives were women of color, and female candidates racked up the many firsts. First two Muslim congressional women, the first two Native American congressional women, the first women to hold House seats in states from Alaska to Iowa to Vermont. I can't believe Vermont took that long. It was like the most liberal state. They didn't even have slavery. The first black congresswoman from Massachusetts, first black congresswoman from Connecticut, first two Latino congresswomen from Texas. What? How did it take that long to get a Latino congresswoman from Texas? And youngest woman ever elected to Congress. The newest elected women in the House were diverse in other ways, too. They were social workers, school teachers, refugees, veterans, advocates for the homeless, and activists fighting gun violence and human trafficking. Yet for all of the declarations of a pink wave, female representation in Congress rose a mere 3 percentage points to a grand total of 23%. Women hold on to the political reins, remain tentative, fragmentary, fragile, while 2018 marked a turning point in the larger battle for women's rights, or another year of the woman that barely lasts a season. God, I'm such a bad reader. The fight before us is daunting. Supreme Court Justice Brett Kavanaugh will be buying baseball tickets well into the century. He is fellow Trump's Supreme Court appointee Neil Gorsuch, and the new anti-abortion majority on the bench will be handing down edicts on women's health, wealth, and well-being for decades to come. God, that's so depressing. All right, guys, this is it. Yet, preventivism to reestablish itself as a broad-based movement and an abiding force. You got to pack the courts. In American life, whose healthy dissent reinforces a formidable solidarity. It will require, though, returning to the commitment that Lowell Mill girls made nearly 200 years ago when every woman turned out to redress the wrongs done to one of them. Resolve that none of us will go back unless they receive all of us as one. Well, sisterhood for life. Solidarity forever. There's Backlash. We finished the foreword, and my phone's upside down. Okay, there we go. All right, love you. See you. God bless, and keep your head up. We're gonna get through